welcome to Board Games with Niramas. Today it's time for the top 10 games of all time. And of course I'm not just joined by Drako as usual, I have some guests here. So...
Hello, Andreas. You might know me from another video, Terraforming Mars.
Yeah, you're already famous. So,
yes,
yeah.
I am. And on your left side...
Yeah, my name is Lucas. I'm not so famous yet, but after this video,
this will be
I'm hoping
your
to reach
breakthrough.
my breakthrough. Yeah, so counting on it.
And Drako wanted to have his own list, but I said no because he just likes this game where you throw around pigs and stuff. So. Yeah, all right. So, well, what are we rating then? We should start there. I guess for me, I could say that I'm rating the games that I think is most fun. I had most fun with them, the top 10 games. And also I want to play them again in the future a lot more. So what's your Andy?
Yeah, that is Andy. Yeah,
Andy.
Thank you. That is my list is based on the same stuff. It's like the games that have influenced me as well. But all my games, I really enjoy them, and I want to keep playing them.
Yeah, I'm boring. It's the same. But I should be a little bit different. Maybe I'm the player who played less games. Do you say
the least
games?
Most
yeah, least games. So I had a pretty rough
childhood.
Try out to find games here. No, but I have several games which I played very very much many years ago, but not so much now. But since this is an all-time top 10, they are on my list also.
I also have a few of those games I played.
I have modern games.
Yeah, you're quite a modern person.
Yeah. All right.
I got to start this great list, and my number 10 is Bonanza. And Bonanza is published by Amigo Spiel. It's a Spiel German publisher, and it's designed by our very great Uwe Rosenberg.
The one and only.
Yeah. And Bonanza, it's a tiny card game where you plant beans in fields, and it's also a lot of trading between the other players. And it's for 3 to 5 players. Yeah. And I guess there are other versions where you can play even more players.
There are a lot of expansions to this game.
Yeah.
But the base game is very good on its own.
Yeah. And it's very funny pictures and great design. I really love it. But it's a lot. It depends on which kind of group you're playing with. If you play with experienced players which like to go in character and don't be afraid to, have a lot of fun when you play, then I think it's better. New players is also great because it's very easy to learn, but it can be a little bit stiff.
Yeah, I think it's best when you play with players who like to trade, to bargain.
Yeah.
If you play with players who just want to sit on their own, they will not have a good time.
There's a lot of player interaction in the game. Yeah. All right. So my number 10. Let's see. I'm going to have some help here to get it. Is, well, of course I had to get one of Stefan Feld's game on the list. Maybe there's more. Who knows? So here's Trajan. This one came out in 2011, and it's published by Ammonit. And so Trajan is all about Rome, building Rome from making it a great empire. You're going to send your armies out in battle. You're going to trade with using the harbor and the ships. And you're also going to compete for the best spot in the Senate, because if you get there you can get the best laws in place, sort of. And that will benefit you in points, of course. This is a points game. It's all about getting points in all kinds of ways. There's so many ways to get points in this game, it's amazing. And that's one of the good things about the game, is that you get this accomplishment feeling of every turn you get points, so you feel like you're doing something. Also, the main reason I love this game is because of the... I'm going to switch it. we have this little, it's upside down. Alright, so we have this little rondel here, the Mancala system, which is really great. You have this little markers in different colors, and you can move them around, sort of like in 5 Tribes and other games, where you have to transport them, and you have to drop one in each space. And the one that you land on determines which action you can do. There's 6 different actions. Also, you get bonus tiles, which are called Trajan tiles. If you land on the Trajan tile and have the right color, then you're going to get the bonus. So it's a really fun game. I can really recommend it. It's my number 10, Trajan.
Alright. My number 10 is a very old game. I got it when I was a kid. I'm above 30. It's called Ave Ceasar. I don't know how to pronounce this.
Ave Ceasar.
Ave Ceasar. And I have a Swedish version of it, I think. It's designed by I have it somewhere.
Wolfgang? Yeah.
Wolfgang Riedeser. And the publisher is for this version is Ravensburger. It's a very old game. It was released in 1989 the first time. It's a racing game, 2 to 6 players, I think, 3 to 6 players. It's very simple. Each player gets 3 cards on their hand, numbered 1 to 6, and each time it's your turn, you play one of the cards, and you try to get ahead of the others. And there are a lot of interaction because the track is too narrow for all players. So you try to block other players by getting in their way. A lot of fun. I play this game maybe, I don't know, a few hundred times maybe. My family loves it. One of the games my father really enjoys. It's like a complicated game of Ave Ceasar during Christmas.
I like how the box is really torn, and even at some...
the box is maybe even older than Andreas himself.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know. Can't remember when I got it. 25 years ago maybe, something like that, 24, 20. This is my number 10.
It's a really fun horse racing.
I would love
it's very good, and you can't get it. I've tried to, I'm looking for a version that is not so torn.
Yeah. So what are you going to write when you sell it? How the box looks like?
I don't
it's
know.
A tiny bit.
It's very simple. Each player has one of these. You have to pay tribute to Caesar, one of the labs.
And kids who are spoiled these days with fantasy fight games and Cool Mini or Not, look at this. This is just amazing. Just a piece of plastic that looks like a horse almost.
It's very good. Takes 20 minutes to play maybe or something like that. My number 10. Ave Ceasar.
I just realized that we are old.
No, you are old. I'm the youngest one here.
I don't want to do this anymore.
All right, let's go to number 9.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 9 is, of course, Nations the Dice game. And this is a sort of branch of the Nations game, which is very popular. And Nations the Dice game is a simpler one. It's sort of a filler game. You throw your dice, you get these swords or food icons and so on. And with them you can conquer territory, sort of little tiles. You can build wonders, and you can build buildings. And the buildings give you more dice, so it's sort of a dice building game where you get better and better dice. And you have different dice, so you have the red one is the war and so on. You get a lot of swords on it. So it's a really quick, nice game. It came out in 2014. It's designed by Rustan Håkansson and published by Asmodee and Lautapellit. Finnish. We're Swedish.
Very good.
We're Swedish. It's a big difference.
Lautapellit.
All right. And so this game is for 1 to 4 players. You can play it solo. And it's 20 to 40 minutes or so. Really fun game. Quick little filler game. It really gets you the feeling of a nation building game in 40 minutes. It sounds weird, but it actually does that because of the theme.
It is. So, it is the dice game version of Nations.
Yeah.
But you really get the feel of Nations. I've played both multiple times, and the regular Nations game is a massive game, excellent game. But this game takes all the it takes some of the good parts and
compromise it
into 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of dice, but this game This game opened my eyes for dice.
I'm with you there because I don't like six-sided or these normal
playing
dice.
Risk.
But these dice are of course specialized. You have these icons and so on, so it makes it fun. Oh, I got 2 swords now. I can beat Andy here, and so on.
I just played it once, but I really like it also. I haven't played the original Nations, but I think I would like it.
We will have
and
to do that.
everybody tells me that you are going to like this, so I'm a believer in other people, so I believe them when they are saying that I'm going to like it.
It might be.
And Andy here, said that this is the dice game of Nations, and I think it is because it says on the box, it says Nations, the dice game. So I believe in him there too. Yeah.
We're going to force Lucas to play both this one and the Nations game, so don't worry.
We'll take 2 weeks to play with Lucas though.
Yeah,
because there's 8.
Lock him in the basement.
All right.
I can take it.
Oh yeah.
There's no space.
I'm taking this guy now.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
my number 9. Istanbul. And you haven't played this yet.
No, I haven't.
Oh, that's British. You haven't played it. Game for 2 to 5 players. It has 2 expansions, I think. Released in 2014. Has gotten several awards. Something called Kennerspiel des Jahres. Designed by Rüdger Dorn. Yeah, mein Deutsch is sehr gut. It is how to say it is a game where in the old Istanbul, where you are merchants and you try to get rich by acquiring rubies. So you build up this town, Istanbul. Each time you play it, you can you randomly distribute all the city tiles. So each game will be different. And then you have your merchant and your resistance, and you go around the map, getting various types of goods and trading them, trying to trade these into rubies. And the first one to get 5 or 6 rubies, depending on number of players, will win the game. It has a lot of interaction, because if you try to end up in a place where I have my merchant with your merchant, you have to pay me stuff.
Sounds like a bad game.
It's very good. I really like. Every time I play it, I just want to play more. And the first expansion was very good. And I got the second one at Essen, but I haven't had time to play it yet. So I'm looking forward to that.
I have to try this. Every time we play, it's like, oh, can we play Istanbul?
Yeah, it takes like an hour to play, which is perfect.
You used to win in this because you say every time I play it, I want to play more, and that's a kind of a winning thing.
This is one of the games one of the few games I don't win every time. Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Oh. I'm not so good at this game. I don't know why.
We're coming back to this strange syndrome. I have it also, but higher in my list. You know, the games you like a lot are the games you really are very, very bad at.
I'm not bad at the game.
Yes, you're bad on it. Now, moving on to my number 9. We're number 9. And my number 9, you have to help me with my number 9. It's The Resistance. It's a kind of a party game.
Yeah.
But, and I'm not so much fan of party games, but this one I really liked. I only played it once. It's for 5 to 10 players. And
I believe it's called Social Deduction.
Yeah.
You get hidden identities.
It's published by Indie and Board Card. I never heard of them. Okay. And it's designed by Don Escrigues.
Yeah. You know that.
Maybe
that guy.
Yeah. You know that.
Hello, Don.
I don't know. Yeah. Hello, Don. Sorry. It's not the first time I'm making fun of some famous people. Yeah, as Andy here was telling, it's a lot of seduction and you betray your friends. So if you play with people who get angry easy, maybe you shouldn't play with them at all. But it's really funny. When you play with 5 people, 2 of them are playing as spies, and 3 of them are playing as the resistance. And the game, you play the game in 5 rounds, and if the resistance win or the resistance or the spies are winning 3 of the rounds, they are winning. So the resistance are going to try to find out who are the spies, and the spies are going to find out who are the resistance. Or no, the spies knows.
They are trying to sabotage the missions.
And the game starts with finding out so the spies know who are the spies.
Yeah, there's like a night phase where everybody closes their eyes, and like the spies are looking at each other, so they know who the other spies are. And the thing I really like about this game is the whole, because people are starting to getting all these kinds of weird logic involved, like, well, he was the spy last turn, so now he has to be the spy again. It's like, hey, he's always evil, so he's obviously the spy because he stole my lunch the other day.
You don't have to do anything, but as soon as everybody opens their eyes, someone says, "You are the spy! You are the spy!" And I'm like, "What happened here?" You know. So it's very, very funny, and And
sometimes it's best to just be silent, I think. What do you think?
Yes, I'm never winning when I'm talking in this game, but if I'm silent, I have a better chance.
If you have played a lot of poker, maybe you are great on this game, because
might be or might not be, I don't know.
Reading people.
It's good because it's for 5 to 10 players as well.
Yeah.
So if you have a large group, it's like, let's play a game of resistance.
It's a perfect convention game, of course. Where
it takes 30 minutes, roughly.
Yeah. So it's very easy to learn, and first round maybe it's strange for new people, but then
you get into it.
But then people start to lie, and people love to lie. Except for my wife, she hates lying. All right.
So isn't on her list. Yep, that was number 9.
Let's go to number 8.
Yeah.
My number 8, an old classic, Dominion. Everyone has played. Have you played this?
Yeah, I've played it.
Yeah, perfect. It was released in 2009. Got several awards. Spiel des Jahres. Published by Rio Grande Games. Author Donald X. Vaccarino. I played this game 100 times. This is one of the games that has influenced me mostly, I think. It's a card draft, deck building game, where you start with a very small deck of cards consisting of gold and some points, and you try to get new better cards called action cards that can either give you more cards, or you can buy better coins like silvers and golds and victory points, or you can buy cards to attack other players. And
you get the cards that lets you draw another card, so you can increase your play every time.
It's like 10 expansions or something. I think I have 6 of them. But just the base game has a lot of cards. It's 500 cards or something. And each expansion has at least 200-300 new cards. You can combine them in any way. It is very, very good. Takes somewhere between 20 minutes to an hour to play, depending on which combination of cards you get. Because some cards will make the game much longer, depending on some cards just makes the game longer. For example, when you give your opponent curse cards. Minus 1, you can have 1.
Drako can have 1. Drako is asleep. Don't bother him.
He's sleeping. One of the best games.
It's sort of the grandfather of deck builders as well. This is what founded the whole deck building genre almost.
So I remember one summer, like 4 years ago, like me, my wife, and my sisters would play this like all the time. When we had like an hour, a spare hour, we were like, let's play a game or 2 of Dominion, and we played. So we sort of played it too much almost. You know the feeling when you play a game too much. So we're not playing it as often anymore, but every time we take it out, it's like another game of Dominion. It's right there. Perfect. My number 8.
Great game. My number 8 is Le Havre, and we're going back to our dear Uwe Rosenberg.
We love you.
We love Uwe. And as Andreas has played a lot of Dominion, I have played too much Le Havre, I think. This one came out 2008. And I'm a little bit sad that I have played it so much, because you get tired of it. It's a bad thing. You should own more board games so you don't have to play one too much. I think.
Yeah, your collection is a bit small, perhaps.
Yeah, and this game is a great worker placement game where you play in a harbor.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, and you.
It's a lot of resource management.
It's a lot of resource management. You grab resources all the time, and you build buildings with the resources. And the thing is, when I own a building, Andreas could use that building also, but then he has to pay me because he uses it. But it's not so much. Oh. So it's The first time I played it, I was like, no, I don't want to use that building because that's his building. I have to pay him 1 coin. And if you think a lot like that, you're going to lose, or I'm losing if I play like that. You should try to, of course, you should try to have a lot of buildings that other people want to use. Yeah. But you shouldn't be afraid to use others either.
Like Uwe has designed other games. It's influenced by Agricola in some sense, because you have to feed your workers. Yeah. At the end of every, I don't know what it's called here. It's not years, but but you don't have multiple workers here. You don't have one worker, so it's a bit. But it's still that. I get the feeling when I play it's tight with food. Like always, if you try to maximize your points, it's like, all right, barely have enough food this round as well. Yeah. Barely. So you should not collect just fish.
No, that's a bad thing.
My wife just collects fish.
Just collect fish, that's a bad thing. But it's much more forgiving than Agricola if we compare it to that. And I think that's why I like this one better than Agricola.
Very good.
Yeah. And
takes a while to play though.
Yeah. I saw right now that you can't play it solo. I have never done that, but I guess it's
try it.
Yeah.
I think it takes 2 hours to play at least.
Yeah.
Something like that. Especially with you. It takes 3 hours maybe.
Oh great, here we go again. It's always like this, I always next time we play I'm going to have a timer for everybody, and then I should show black and white. Okay, this is how much time it took for you, and this is how much it took for me.
I don't have a problem with it.
You know, the run through I did a few weeks ago, I did it while waiting for Lucas to do his turn when we were playing.
Okay, shall you take your number 8, or shall we talk about this? Yeah.
Let's go to...
And now your time is up, because you're talking too long. So let's go to number...
My number 8 is Alchemists. It's designed by Mattis Kotry, and this one at least is published by CGE. I know that Yellow did this in America, I think. And this game is just amazing. This is one of those games that when I played it the first time, I went around thinking about it the day after I played it, and I was sort of laughing from, sitting in my car laughing. This game is just so much fun, and I mean, at the beginning, the most fun with this game is actually that other people are messing up. Yeah. So, well, let's get to what the game is about. You have your alchemist, and you're going to brew potions, and to do that you have an app. Actually, this is one of those games where you have a mobile app. Some people don't like it, but in this game it's just a little bit of the game. But it helps you a lot, because you can play the game without the app, and then you have to have someone, I don't know who that would be.
Another player, a person who's not in the game.
Yeah, you would have to have like a wife or something.
Okay.
that doesn't play games, of course. Who wants a wife that doesn't play games? But anyway, and then she would have to, or he. I mean, no.
We just lose half of our viewers, Okay.
Yeah. But someone has to keep track of which potions or which ingredients combine into what substance, and. So the app is doing that for you. So when you're scanning with your mobile phone, you're scanning the cards, and then it tells you that this and this together, it becomes like a red plus, which is just a thing to...
Good health.
Yeah, for example. It's and then you can make a potion out of that. And so you go around worker placement style, you place your workers in preparation for what you want to do. And then you can also sell your potions. That's why you want to make them, because you want to be able to sell them to these merchants to come to town. But there's a race for that as well, so everybody can't sell the same potion. You have to be the first and so on. So it's a combination of deduction. I had a friend calling this Sudoku, which is sort of correct. After a while, you start to figure out, well, if this ingredient leads to this, and this one has to lead, and so on. All right, so what do you guys say about Alchemist?
It's a great game.
Have you played it?
Yeah, I played it, and I also I think we are a little bit seduced by this up thing. I really like the up also because it's a small part of it.
Yeah.
But it's
I can see a problem with it. Like in 20 years, should I where is the app available in 20 years? Should I put a mobile phone in the box, an old one maybe?
But on the other hand, imagine the games that have come out during those 20 years. Do you really want to play this? Actually?
Yes, I'm still playing Ave Ceasar.
Oh yeah. Well,
you don't need an app for Ave Ceasar.
You don't need an app for Ave Ceasar.
It would have been a better game if you had an app in Ave Ceasar.
Yeah. The part I like with this game is when you can publish a theory.
Like, I didn't mention that.
Yeah, you publish theories about. I think the frog has these three. This frog has this is linked to this alchemist.
Yeah, substance in the
but you can be wrong. You can publish a theory without being confident, and it's up to other players to right. Does he know what he's talking about, or what he's doing, or he's just making things up? It's very good because you can deduct other theories and or debunk. I mean, other theories. It's very good.
That's one of the things that really makes for a good laugh when you I see that he's publishing a theory, and I can see on my chart, because we all have the screens covering our charts. I can see that he's wrong. And that is so exciting. I'm just waiting for the next round when I get to go and tell him, haha, that's wrong, and he gets minus points. So that's
each player has his own cauldron, so where you're brewing your potions. But so you put your cards up here, and then you take your apple and you brew them together, and then you have a screen that only you can see where you put all the answers that you get when combining them. I remember a game with a friend of mine who was, I think he had a night out or something. So in the middle of the game, he just, I don't know, fell asleep or something, and he just smashed his cauldron, so everything was everywhere. So he didn't know anything. So the game was
that's just
basically
amazing.
ruined for him, but it was pretty fun.
An expansion for this would be great if you actually brewing, your potions, so you can see there's coming smoke and stuff.
And that is the deluxe version.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to buy that.
It has an expansion was released at SN, I think, but I didn't get it. I might get it. You might get it.
Yeah, I'm going to get it for sure, sooner or later. All right, so let's go to our number 7s.
That went great. Okay, time for number 7, and it's I'm starting this one again, and my number 7 is heavy one, Caverna. And Drako likes this one too, I guess. This one is a very heavy game, physically. You say that, yeah. Physically, you have to be very strong.
It's heavy.
It's very heavy.
Can you guess the designer?
Yeah, I think they can.
Oh.
I'm not going to pronounce it again. It's Ove again. I think it's the third game or something.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Yeah, 3 or 4. Yeah,
very good.
So I like Ove. Caverna, the cave farmers, and that's what you are. It's a worker placement. Surprise, surprise, again. And you play as what do you call dwarfs? Yeah, and you can do thousands of different things to get points. My favorite is farming. I love farming. You never get so many points doing farming.
Depends on how you play, though.
Yeah, it depends on how you play. Maybe I guess. I like farming. You can farm very similar to the Agricola style farming again. But since you're dwarfs, you can go mining in mines and dig for rubies and stuff. You can go out on adventures and get treasures. You can do thousands of things, and I like that type of game where you can like get into one type of thing and say that, okay, I'm going to just farm corn and see if I can win on that, or I should just go level up my dwarfs to level 15 and get great on doing adventures and get stuff on that. And that's actually working in Caverna. In Agricola, it's the opposite. That's why I don't like it. You have to be great on everything, and I suck at it. So I like doing one thing great.
Yeah. The main difference between Agricola and Caverna for me is in Agricola you get these occupation cards and whatever the other are called, improvement cards or something.
Minor improvement.
Yeah,
and you have to do that plan or.
That is what you get, and if you don't use them, you will not win the game. And that is challenging. I like that, but I also like the opposite that Caverna gives you.
The freedom to choose wherever you want.
Every game you can do what you want, but it's like first come first serve. So you furniture, rooms and dwellings, and if I take that room before you, like you will not be able to get it. So it's very good. And every time I play it, I try to play it differently. So one game I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try the animal strategy, and the next time I'm gonna try the corn or whatever, or mix of it. So it's that would.
For me, I get a bit of spoiler here. This one is not on my list because for me this is just what we call in Sweden a smorgasbord, which means you can get points in every way. You can, I mean, even the dwarves going out on missions. It's like, I'm going to build up my strength and I go on a mission. And what you do is you find like a cow in the forest and you bring it home, and then you find some mushrooms on the way. Woohoo! Yeah, I was fighting with my axe.
It's like actually life, you know. If you go out in the forest, you can find something.
Cows and mushrooms.
Oh, mushrooms, but do you bring your axe when you go picking mushrooms?
Oh, yeah.
Every time.
And so many times I go out in the forest with my axe. Maybe I want to chop down a tree. I don't know, but if I want to do it, I could.
This is too easy for me.
Too easy for you.
Perfect. All right, so let's see. My number 7, I think we're on, right? Is T.I.M.E Stories, and T.I.M E Stories is I don't even know where to start. This game is so amazing. You are going on time travels to correct things in history that went wrong, sort of. And this game is sort of like, you can think of it, I mean, other people have described it like a console for TV games, and then you can insert different kinds of games. Because the main box here comes with one scenario, Asylum, just a lovely time travel trip down to 1920s Asylum in France. I mean, who wouldn't want to go there? So that's how it starts out, but then the next scenario, which you have to purchase, of course, it's like an expansion, but I think they are really worth it. The next one it's a kidnapping case in the 90s, so there's so much possibility for this game to just bring on all kinds of scenarios. Even player-made ones has come up on Board Game Geek now, I think. And I think this game is just amazing in the way that it's called T.I.M E Stories, and it's because the game makes the players tell the story. You sort of have these cards that you look at, and if I go, my little marker go to a room, I'm looking at a card, then I can't tell the other players exactly what the card says. I have to tell them in my own words. I have to describe perhaps a photo, and I have to it's sort of like we were there and we're actually telling each other, well, telepathically, because we are taking over the minds of people actually living in this time. It's a bit complicated, but never mind. Just the feeling of it makes you tell the story. The game doesn't tell a story. We are telling the story to each other while we play it. So good. And I know you've been playing this.
Yeah, I borrowed your copy. Played it with my wife and my sister and her boyfriend. It's a lot of fun. It's very, I don't know. It feels like a role-playing game in a board game in a sense. So it's not a good match for everyone.
And because you're still chucking dice and fighting monsters and
you have to go into character, I believe. If you're not that person, I don't think like you will enjoy these types of games. You have to try to play the game as like people will probably try like just show the cards to everyone, but that's not the way the game should be played. And you shouldn't do that because then you will spoil.
No, you have to go into character and be like, hey Andy, I saw this over here, and I know.
But it's I haven't played it, but it feels like when you're saying that you tell stories, you look at a card and you tell not what says on the card, you describe it. Then are you going to win this game if you're great on describing situations and places and stuff?
Not describing, but maybe if you are keen to details.
Yeah, you have to pick up the little clues to the mystery.
I've finished the first one and the second one. The second one is called Mars's Case. And I can't tell you about it because I will spoil it.
There's a lot of spoiling risks on this game.
But you have to be keen on the detail. The details are important. And some things that you didn't think was important appear to be very important.
Okay.
All right. So now it's time for your number 7.
Yes, of course. My number 7 is an old game, Puerto Rico, released in 2002, published by many different companies. The Nordic one is called, as you said, you can say it again.
Lauterpelit.
Yes, very good.
FI.
Author is Andreas Ceasar. That
sounds kind of weird, but okay.
This is perhaps the best game for 5 players that I know. 3 to 5 players, it scales very good. I think it's best with 5 players or 4 players. So basically, you are, I think you are like colonists or something. So you are trying to make a living in the new world by what are you doing? You are you have a city where you have different types of factories, and where you can and you have fields where you can harvest corn, you can harvest coffee, sugar, and different types, and then you have to put them into your factories to make because otherwise you can't use them except for corn. Corn you can always use. Corn doesn't have to go into factories, and then you either sell it for money or ship it home to the old world to get victory points. And it's very tight because the game the game works in a way where you have different roles. So you're playing rounds until one of the end game criteria is met, and every round you pick a role. So if I, for instance, take the mayor, I will trigger everyone to get new population into their cities. But as I was the one who, if I picked the role mayor, I will get a benefit from it. So it's like, right, I picked it before you, so I will get a benefit. But then you take builder maybe, and then you will have a discount on building stuff instead of me. So it's very, the game is very, very good at, when do you take the roles at what timings and such. And it has a very, you can't stock goods in the game unless you build certain buildings. So, for instance, you can get screwed over by someone takes the role to harvest stuff, and then someone takes the role to ship. And all the ships are full, so you can't get your stuff on the ships, and so everything is forfeited. Yeah. That is one of the most common ways to lose the game.
And it's a very hard fall also. You think that you are... It goes very well, and suddenly 2,000 tons of sugar is dropping into the ocean, and you don't get it.
I believe you get good at this game. like the first time you play it, you will probably get screwed over multiple times by people who knows how to play, when to pick the roles and everything. But once you played it a few times, it's very good. I'm surprised you haven't played it.
Yeah,
you're going to love it.
Yeah, this is one of my gaps there. But I understand that some people are really good at this. There's like this whole strategies laid out for how to play it and so on. People are typing it down. But I think it looks. I mean, I've seen it played and it looks really fun.
Yeah,
so.
I think I have a pretty old edition. I don't know really, but it has been I think a new version came out this year, and maybe more will follow. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm definitely going to pick this up sooner or later. Yeah. All right. So that was our number 7. Now let's go to number 6. Alright, so my number 6 is this little guy, 7 Wonders Duel. This is the best 2-player game I ever played, and I played a few. So this game, basically it's a card game, but you also have a little board, so you're moving a marker on a board for the military strength. You can win in 3 different ways. It's one of the things I really like about this game. I mean, of course, 7 Wonders is a great game itself. It didn't make my top 10, it should be around 11, 12 somewhere. But this game, designed by Antoine Bassa and Bruno Catala, and published by Repos Production, it came out in 2015, and there was a great expansion for it in 2016 at Essen, but we're not going to talk about that. I already did that in my last video. So, 7 Wonders Duel, what should I say more about it? Well, you can win in 3 different ways, and then you of course want to know how you can win. You can win by points, which is sort of the standard 7 Wonders. You can build up your points, this little Caesar's little, the little olive branches points. And you can win by military, which is an instant win if you get your military strength up high enough. You can also win by science, which is also an instant win if you get 6 different cards, symbols, which is quite hard. But you always have the threat, even if you're going for points, sort of, you're building up your engine, you always have the threat of the other player might be going for military, so you have to defend yourself by getting military strength yourself, which is making it really exciting. And I know that you like this game as well.
Yeah,
not as much as I do, but
it didn't make my top 10. But me and my wife, we play this every now and then. I like this game better than the normal 7 Wonders, even though 7 Wonders, the game is perfect when you're 7 people. When we are 6 people, I tend to favor other games, but for 7 people it's perfect. But for this game, I really like the duel aspect of it, because I don't know if you mentioned, but you put the cards on the table, and each time, like, you take turns picking a card from the pyramid or whatever. It's the card is laid out in a certain way. It looks like a pyramid, at least for the first and the second age. And you take a card, and if I take that card, it will allow my opponent to take that card. Do I want to take that card, or should I do something else? That is the game, the most fun for me.
It's a lot of tactical thinking and planning ahead. Like, if I take that one, he can take this, and then I can take, and you keep going. And really good game. What do you think?
It's not my cup of tea, actually. I can play it if you want to play it. Maybe once a year. I like it, but it's not in my top 10, or not even in my top 20, I guess. I don't like to be forced to do something like the military. You said that if you want to go all in military, you can win by that, and then you force me to change my plans, and it's the same with this card stuff. I feel too much pressure that I need to do something just because you are not going to do something else. I like better games where I can focus on my little farming, go out, chop a tree or whatever,
get a cow,
and don't
mushrooms.
Of course, I like the interactive things between players, but in this game, I think it's over the edge too much. I get forced
too much conflict.
Yeah, too much conflict, and maybe I get in a place where I only have to, take out fires where I don't need.
I know.
And I
what
kind
you're
of
saying,
can't focus on my plan, and that's.
The last time I played this game was very, very intense. I was going for the military route, and my opponent took the science route. So in the third age, we were one card each. If I would have been able to get another military card, I would have won. And the same way for the science, but none of us managed to get it because we were blocking each other by taking the cards. So it all went down to points, and we were equal in points. But then he won. I can't remember.
Second tiebreaker?
Most ridiculous tiebreaker ever, apparently. So, but it's
whoever has the most blue cards.
I think it was points and blue cards. And
first it's gold.
Yeah, and he has 20. He had 21, and I had 19 or something.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to a game that you can win in.
You can win
something. Well, you won against me, I think.
I actually had it here, so people might already have seen it.
Yeah.
This is one of the games that I don't own, so I don't have the box, but I really like it.
He has a printer instead, so.
I print all my games. No,
and
I don't.
Film is 2D. If you don't see this in 3D, you don't see that this is just a paper.
All right, like that. So my game is Roll for the Galaxy. It's published by Rio Grande Games. Authors are Wei Hua Huang and Tom Lehman. Yeah. So this is
Sorry, we are.
Sorry?
I don't know if you
know. The pronunciation is off, maybe. Still, this is the best dice game ever. I said earlier that I don't like dice games, but Nations dice game and this, and in particular this, is the, I don't know, this just feels right for me for using dice. So the game is, I think it's for 5 players, up to 5 players. And you're trying to build an empire in space, and by tossing dice, like you have a cup of dice that you have to pay. You have to pay to get your dice into your cup, and then you use the cup and you turn it upside down, and all the dice will be rolled, and then you have a common phase where everyone tries to put their dice behind, and you have a small, I don't know.
Yeah, covers. So
you don't
the
see
other
each
player
other.
doesn't know where.
And there are 5 phases. So there's some exploration, there's some settlement, development, produce, and ship. And I might want to do 3 of them, but each player can only activate 1. So I have to try to figure out what you're trying to do. Like I see that you have 2 dice left of building your settlement. So I think that you're going to activate settlement. So it means that I can also have a die, one of my die on the settlement, even though I'm not activating that phase, because I really have to activate shipment or something. So it's a sort of a deduction thing here. You have to pay attention to other players. Of course, you can play your game on your own, but to get good at it, you have to try to analyze what other people are doing, try to get the timings right. And there is a lot of dice manipulation. So you build stuff that either you colonize planets or you build developments, and all the developments, or most of the developments, they somehow make you, or most of them make you alter the dice in some way, so you can move them around. So even though you roll the die that has a produce, you can use a shipment or whatever. Yeah. And
I like these dice. They are also, of course, unique. So it's not the normal dice. You have these symbols.
Yeah, and there are different colors, and different colors means like they have.
They're good at different things.
Yeah, red dice are good for certain stuff, and the green dice for other stuff. And it's it just
I think it's a fun game as well.
Everything. I thought I would be higher up, but there are so many good games on my list.
It's tricky in the beginning. I had played the not the dice game, the race for the galaxy, and I used to play that game. Like, this card has so many strange symbols, I don't use that one. So I use the easy part. But I played that a lot, and when I started to play Roll for the Galaxy, it was a little bit tricky the first rounds, but then you catch up.
Yeah.
how it works, and it's very similar to the Race for the Galaxy.
I haven't played the card version, but I prefer dice in this in this environment. I would say I prefer dice.
Yeah, I will get it eventually. One in our gaming group has it, so
a 3D version.
To own it.
Yeah, you should get the 3D version. Yeah. This one's quite boring.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway,
over to my number 6. We're at number 6, right? And we already talked about number 6. It's Puerto Rico. So I'm not going to talk so much more about it, but I'm just going to say that it's very similar, I think, also to Roll for the Galaxy in this turn thing that you choose you choose a role, and much of the game is trying not to play just your own game, as in Roll for the Galaxy. You have to know or think what other players are going to do, so you can take benefits over their role too.
I agree.
Just as in Roll for the Galaxy, that's when you win, and that's where this AP stuff comes in also.
You AP for you?
No, I never AP. No, I'm the opposite to AP player, but I talk for others. You know, I don't want to bring
Lucas
up
AP. Yeah, Nielsen.
But Puerto Rico, I played crazy much, and I think it's a great thing if you want to. Every time I play it, I'm like okay, next time I want to try this strategy. I think that's a great thing if you want to try new things in the game every time you play it.
This game allows you to play different styles, different tactics.
And you in the middle of the game, I always think, I want to try this one. We should stop, and I will try this now. You know, so you're a little bit ahead of yourself. But
the game has a feeling though that like most of it's similar to Uwe Rosenberg's games. It's like when you get your engine up. Like when you're starting to produce stuff,
you're on fire.
Then the game ends.
yeah.
It's sort of like it. It has that. Some people don't like that. I know you want to have your engine rolling for a while.
For a while at least. But at the same time, when you have your engine up, it's not so much left. I think if the game, because I don't like that either. But I think if the game would have been longer, so you can roll this engine for a while. You jump off the edge. I mean, you should stop when you're at the top.
Yeah, I don't think the game would be better if it were longer. I think it's very good as it is.
It can be very long because of but
all right. So let's. This is the Puerto Rico show. Let's talk about this game for hours. Okay, so let's go to our number 5. I think it is. Number 5. Yeah, number 5.
So my number 5. 5 tribes.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you think about that?
Did you put this
I
one
just realized. Days of Wonder, designed by Bruno Catala. Trying to. It's not a worker placement. It's not that. It's an abstract game, where you are trying to. Be the new Sultan of Nakala, and by doing that, and in order to achieve that, you have to influence the 5 tribes that are in Nakala to your advantage. So the game is like you build Nakala with a grid of 30 tiles, and on each tile you place a few meeples on it. The meeples are different color, the colors represent the different tribes, and each time it's your turn. You pick up all the meeples from one tile, then you place one, so if you take up 3, you place one here, and next one here, and next one here, and where you end up, you can pick up all, if you end up with you place a green on the last one, you pick up all the greens, and then you activate the tile itself, and then you activate the green tribe, which are the merchants. And there are assassins, there are viziers and other tribes. I can't remember the names. So the game is a big puzzle. It's like trying to see the patterns. So, for instance, if I took took 3 here and placed 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, it will be 4. Next person will have 4 meeples here. Then he would be able to do something else, and then maybe 5 or 6 or 7 meeples. And then you're able to do crazy stuff on the board. You can do circles and stuff.
You have to be careful how you move, because if you drop them in the wrong place, then you set it up for for your opponent to use that.
A very good tip is when you play with beginners is to just be after the beginner.
Yeah.
Because the beginner will always set you up with perfect spots.
I never think of what.
So one thing I really like about this game also is the start of the game, where you have this auction system for the player order.
Yeah.
So I mean, the money or gold is the points. Yeah. And you have to pay gold to be the first player, because you might see some combination out there that you really can use. You really want to be the first player.
Yeah, exactly.
And if someone is bidding a lot to be the first player, everybody else, what does he see? What is damn?
What is that?
Yeah, start looking.
And then you have to evaluate, like if I bid it like 8 gold, and you see the same, you eventually see the same what I'm seeing. Is it worth for you to bid 12?
Yeah, exactly. Could I make that up by the action I'm doing?
So that is very good, and it's very good for 2 people as well. It's 2 to 4 players. It's best at 2 and 4 in my opinion. For 2 players, you play twice every round, so you can set up yourself to be both first and second player. So you can do something with the first action and to set up the second action, or you have second or third. It's very, very good. I play this a lot. It has a couple of expansions, which I'm trying to get. They are sold out here, so I can't get the ones.
Okay.
But they will.
This is really one of the well, this one was also like, I don't know.
Yeah, it was
my top 15 or something.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Was released in 2014, so it's a pretty new game.
Yeah.
Very good. My number 5.
Right. So
it's my turn. Yeah. My number 5 is also very heavy. And not as you don't have to be so strong. This is Terra Mystica, but it's crazy heavy in mind.
Yeah.
And this is one of the game that I really love, but I'm actually not so good at it. But still, I love to play it. It's published by Seaman, and it came out 2012, I think.
Okay.
12 or 13.
Yeah.
Well. Okay, yeah, somewhere around there. This is some kind of area territorium building game where you play one of 14 different factions. Is it 14? Yeah. And as you can see here on the front, there's a tiny bit that says what it's all about. You dig a lot, so you have one of these areas is your like home environment. So if you are the the one that likes the water,
mermaids.
The mermaids, you like the water, and then you can build very, very cheap on water. But if you want to build on like forest or grass or what it is, you have to like dig here, and then you calculate and see how far is this forest from the original water.
Yeah, I think this is swamp, by the way.
This is a swamp. Yeah, okay. Well,
but still,
then you have to dig, and then it costs more money, and so you choose areas to put your home, and you want to expand mostly as cheap as possible, but also in this kind of puzzle area. And you also get benefits if you are close to other people. My first game, when I played it, I was like, no, I want to be around here by myself, because no one is going to take my areas. And that was a very, very bad idea, because it was very expensive for me to expand. And I didn't get anything when people build on their own place. So you want to have a balance there. You don't want to get built in so you can't expand, but you want to be able to be close to others, so so you can get
very,
benefits when
very good.
people buy. So it's it can also be a very AP game because you have a lot of different buildings you can build and upgrades and stuff, and you after every turn you get like salary, or you get rewarded depending on what kind of buildings you have out on the board. So you have to balance this.
There's a lot of things going on this game.
It's a lot of planning.
Yeah.
I used to play it. I kind of skip this AP thing because it's too much. I just play how it feels, and that's why I'm not so good at it, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's very fun anyway, and sometimes it goes well and you don't get lost. But
I think you played quite good last time.
Yeah, last time it went very well. But
this game has a good expansion as well. But we're not talking about expansions today. Are we?
No, you get a lot of AP in just this box. You don't need the expansions, Josef.
People are different.
Yeah, people are different.
Some people don't get AP at all.
No.
So yeah,
2 to 5 players takes at least 2 hours.
Yeah.
It takes 3 hours with Lucas. But
Here we go again. I'm not going to talk anymore.
6, 7. All right. So my number 5, and this one. Let's see here. This game I already talked about.
Oh!
And it's Terraforming Mars. This game is so amazing. It almost made it higher on my list, but the competition is rough up there. So yeah, Terraforming Mars, you're going to terraform the land, sort of like Terra Mystica actually, but in a sort of modern, more realistic way. Yeah. And so Terraforming Mars, you have all these cards, 260 cards, they're all unique. So you get these cards every round, and you can choose if you want to purchase them or not. And so you build your engine, and you can sort of plan, like, these cards go together. You can have a strategy that goes well together, and also with your company, because we have different companies, and the companies have different abilities, of course. So this game is just a great game. It came out in 2016, published by Stronghold Games, and it's a Swedish designer, Jacob Fryxelius. And, well, I'm not going to talk more about this game, because I talked so much about it lately.
Yeah. Should I talk about it?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Do you want to say anything?
It might show up on my list.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
so
I'm not going to talk too much about it.
Yeah. All right. So let's stay at that and
go to number 4.
Go to number 4.
So we are at number 4, and I start, and this time we bring out Stone Age, which came out 2008, and we have this Finnish company,
Lautapeli,
and
in the Nordic version.
Yeah, in the Nordic version, and it's designed by Michael Tummelhofer. This game, I wanted to have this game so much, like a year ago or something, but then it was totally out everywhere in Sweden. And then I tired of getting it, and I was wanting other games, and then they reprinted it or something, because suddenly every store in the country had it. So I was like, okay, I buy it for Christmas for myself. And this game is a worker placement game, and take place during the Stone Age. And it's kind of a gateway game. It's good for bringing new players to the board game.
Yeah, it's almost became a classic worker placement game or gateway game.
And yeah, I really like it. It's a very beautiful game. I really love to see the board, and you go to the stone pit or the forest to chop down trees and stuff. And it's very, very, as Le Havre, it's very forgiving, because you should pay your workers in the end of each round, but it's very easy to get food. You can get food, you can get like wood, stone, gold, what do you call this, brick stuff? Yeah, clay. And that's it, I think. And there are some dice in it, but you have this formula. You
can use the tools to.
You can change the dice with upgrading your tools, but also when you should get stone, you go. Let's say you take 3 workers to the mountain where you chop down stones. If you take 3 workers there, you take 3 dice, and then you roll, and then you calculate how much stone you need. So let's say that you get 12 or something with the dice. Then you take 12 divided by 5, which is, I think, the stone, how hard it is to get stone. So there is a little bit push your luck, but not so much because of this formula. You divide every single dice with. So it's easier to get food. There you only divide it by 2, but gold you divide it by 6. And then you build homes, which you get points for, and you can also get cards where you get end game scores. So,
have you played this?
No, I haven't. I'm surprised that it's so high up on your list.
Maybe
it's because it is a gateway game.
I think it's high because it's pretty new for me, so I have played it a lot, but and I think it's very much my type of game. It's easy to, and maybe also because I play a lot with people who are not so much into board games, so I have fallen into this a little bit. I want to get games which I like, but it's good also if I can get other people to like it.
I mean, it's still a good game for gamers. This is one of the games that I never played it physically, but I played it a lot on the computer. I don't usually do that with board games, but this one I did it. It's really, I mean, there's some strategy, there's some planning, and you have this push your luck element and all that, and with the dice and so on. So it's a good game. I mean, for gamers. So I would like to play this. I mean, with you.
Yeah, we should definitely play it in our group also. But I'm not surprised that you like Terra Mystica more, or something. But because but I really like the thing with myself that I can like these kind of game also, and not only very very heavy games.
All right. So my number 4, which was my number 1 for many years, is Civilization. Sid Meier's Civilization, I should point out, because there's a few different versions of this. This is one of my favorite computer games of all times, and what they did here with this box is they sort of put the computer game in a board game box. You really get the same feeling, although you don't have to spend 4 days. You just have to spend like 8 hours. So this one is, I think this is the game that takes the longest of all the games that I enjoy. But it's an epic game. You really feel like you accomplish something. You build your cities up, and then you get them nuked in the end, of course. But you sort of, you're going to space if you win by technology. So you have 4 different ways to win the game, which is a thing that I really like about games, where there's different ways to finish the game. So the game could be won by technology, which is sort of a timer, because they feel sad for you after 8 hours. So then somebody's going to win by technology. But if you're sort of playing the game correctly, then you're going to win a lot faster than that, because you can win by gold. You can win by culture, which is, I think, the most usual way that people win in this game. And you can, of course, win by military. And when you go by military, you don't have to defeat all the other players. You just have to take over one of the other players' capital, which makes it a really interesting strategic game. Because if I see that Lucas's armies is heading over to Andy's capital, I can't let him do that, because then I will lose as well, even if it's not me who's attacking. So therefore, I have to be in an alliance, sort of just temporary alliance with Andy. So it's such a great game. I could talk about this for hours, or I could play it for hours. And
you only have to conquer one.
Yeah, you only have to conquer one of the others.
It's different from the computer game.
Yeah.
You have to conquer every capital, I think.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, the most usual way you win is by culture, where you spend your cities, because you have one city action each turn. You could either build something, you could recruit troops, or you could devote the city to the arts. So.
Yeah, I haven't had a time to play this yet, but I've played a lot of Civilization, Sid Meier's Civilization 5 and 6. I'm playing 6 all the time now when I have time over.
I haven't even bought it because I know I don't have time for that. I know that I'm going to be stuck.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to play this game.
I'm going to force everyone I know to play this game sooner or later because it's just so good.
I think I'm going to love it. I love the city building stuff.
And the thing is, let's say for Lucas who likes to farm and isn't that conflict oriented, he could he can't farm really, but he could build his city and go around, pretend he has cows and all that, and build a strong and you can build a strong defense. You don't have to have a strong military to be aggressive with.
Yeah.
If you get a strong defense, there's no way we can take you out anyway. Because military is quite hard to win in this game unless you play it sort of perfectly from the beginning. But if you do that, then everybody else is going to see what you're doing, because every round, or sort of every round when you can, you're going to choose a technology and everybody else sees what technology you're choosing. So if you're starting off choosing the military or the aggressive technologies, like better weapons and so on, then everybody else is going to see that and they can start building their defenses, and that means you're not going to win by military anyway, I guess. I think in like 30 plays, I think 1 or 2 times there was a military win in this. And I know that there are other experienced players that can win a lot more often in military. So maybe I'm just bad at it, I don't know. But I really love it. So that's my number 4, Civilization, the board game.
Alright.
Okay.
My number 4, you already talked about it, was your number 5, I think.
Yeah.
I got this at Essen. So happy that I got a copy. It's just amazing. Every time I play it feels different, because you said it's 260 different cards. There are so many things to do in this game. And it gets better when you play it a few times, because then you don't play with the game is better when you don't play with the beginner corporations. In my opinion.
Absolutely. And also when you play it a few times, you start to, of course, know some of the cards, so you can you know. For instance, this card, one of my favorites, is the one where you are protected from asteroid strikes and so on. You can have your plants, because I like to farm as well. So when I farm in space, I can have my plants protected. And of course, if I get that card, then
there's only a single card, 260 cards.
But if I get it quite early, then that's going to sort of define my strategy, because then I know I can go for the farming or growing plants strategy. Also, I like about this game that there's some aggressive cards.
Yeah, there are.
I mean, most of the games that we all of us play are pretty peaceful.
Yeah, we're peaceful
I just
players.
talked about Civilization, but anyway.
But in this game, you can tap into other energy lines. You can throw comets or asteroids. You can play event cards.
Throw comets.
Oh, you control them in some way, so they go.
You can play event card, which is like a comet will hit you and you lose
all your plants.
A number of your plants, or something like that. But it doesn't feel. I don't know. I don't have a.
It's not too much.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not too much.
It's just enough so that you sort of feel like you could, the guy that you always hate in games, you could give him some love.
And so it's very like terraforming-esque, because like the purpose of the game is to make Mars inhabitable. So it's like you start with 0 degrees oxygen, and you have to go up to 14%. You have to raise the temperature from -30 to +8 and get 9 lakes out. And you all strive for that common goal. But there are a lot of timings involved with this, but because some cards you can only play, for instance, before it's if it's 20 degrees minus or colder, and there are cards there is like it has to be 5 degrees.
It's very thematic. Like if you're going to search for something in the ice, then you have to play it while it's cold. And also a thing the best thing for me about this game that I didn't mention when I was talking about it is the engine building. This is so... You really get the feeling of accomplishment. You build this at the first round you have something to do because you start with some money. And the second round you almost feel like, or second generation it's called, you almost feel like, what am I going to do? I can do just a few actions. And then all of a sudden, in like an hour later, you're sitting there doing a lot of things. And that's so much fun. It's the same, I would say, about Terra Mystica.
We did a run through of this.
Yeah.
Check it out.
That was number 5. I'm going to link
4.
For you that watches on the computer, you're going to have a little link up here for each game that I did a run through for. If you watch via a mobile device or so, then I'm sorry, but YouTube doesn't support that. But then you can go to my channel and subscribe and like all the videos and everything at the same time. All right, so
that was number 4.
That was number 4. Then it's have you gone?
No.
I have not number 4. I was the first one.
I
was Stone Age.
All right.
Number 3.
Number three.
Coming up.
And so it's getting exciting. Number 3, and well, this should be my number 1 game. But there's so many good games out there. So my number 3, Agricola. I mean, this game in one category, which is farming and all that, and the worker placement and all that. This is my favorite game. This game is just so good, and I don't even know where to start. You have this little, I mean, some people say there's no theme in this, but they are crazy. You are a little farmer with your pitchfork, and you're out living in the, 17th century or something. And you're really poor, you live in a wood shack with your wife, and you don't even have any kids yet. And you're just poor, and then you start working. And when you do your working, you're going to get clay and stone and wheat and sheep and cows and pigs. It sounds so good. And then you're going to build a stone house. You're going to build fences to keep your animals in. I mean, that's the thematic part of it. The actual game part, which is the one I really love, is the planning and the really tight feel. If you do something wrong here, then sorry for you. You're screwed. So that's what I really like with this game.
Unforgiving.
Yeah,
Tell me about it.
Unforgiving.
This is, the feeling I get of this game. There's only one other game that gives me that feeling, and that might come later on the list. But it's so much fun, and it's so much planning, because you get these cards at the beginning, and the best way to play it is to draft these cards. So you're drafting them, and you start to form a strategy in the beginning. And I must say also, I don't play the base game anymore, really, because there's a great expansion for it, Farmers of the Moor. So I play it with that. Because then you have to heat your home as well, and so there's other things to add in.
This game almost made my top 10, but it did not. I'm gonna slide my game 3 here.
Wait, before that I have to say something about this, because I play this too much also. And I if I think of myself like I don't know about this, I would love it. And then I play it, and then I hate it. No, but the theme I love. It's farming, it's building, it's so great. And then they tell me the rules. Yeah, you have to one of everything. And what? I don't want to have one of everything. I want to only have pigs, or I don't. And then it's like.
That's why this game is this.
Yeah.
This is my number 3.
I forgot to say it's Seaman Games, it's Uwe, of course. But also, there's a big battle between these games.
You already talked about Caverna, so I'm just gonna try to talk about the differences here, because this is like, I had Agricola first. Very good game. A little bit too hard for some players. Like it doesn't appeal to everyone.
No, I know.
And then this game was released, and it appeals to. Like a lot more.
I would say there's
players.
like 2 different. I mean, there's like if you want it really tight and really hard planning, you have to think a lot and so on. Then that's Agricola for you. If you want a little bit more casual, like I said, go out in the forest, find a cow. Then Caverna is for you. So,
but this is very tight as well, but on a different level.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so much similarities between these games, so it's hard to sort of say that one of them is. I mean, you couldn't say that one is bad and one is good.
This is
either you like
Agricola 2.0.
Either you like it or you don't like it, but you can.
I really like Agricola, but I tend to play this more. My wife likes this more on this just because of the cards that I mentioned earlier. That in this game you're given cards and you have to try to find a strategy around it. And even though I like it, the ones that I have played this game most with don't like that aspect. They like.
But I think also
better.
I think this one has better replayability because you always have the same bonus buildings in Caverna.
Yeah.
In Agricola, I think there's up to 700 different cards now. I mean, not that I have, but I have maybe half. There's so much. I mean, even when you get the game, well, you can get different versions of it. I would say, but this one at least from 2008. This one had, I have the basic deck, the interactive deck, the complex deck, and the advanced deck. I mean, that's a lot of cards and a lot of variations. So
still, you have to have one of those, one of each. That's you're locked into that.
Yeah,
card.
I know. Yeah, I'm into that.
But new players tend to just struggle with getting food.
Yeah.
In this game,
it's very hard to get up the engine.
In this game, it's a lot easier to get the food.
But I have to say, because a lot of people talk about that Agricola is too harsh. But I must say, I played this with... I mean, there's a family version in it as well. You can remove all those cards and just flip the boards and you get the family version. I played that with my sister's kids. They were like 8 and 9 years old. They had so much fun. I mean, they get the little sheep and they get the cows and so on. So in the box, there's not just this heavy, rough Euro game. You can also have a light sort of kids game even in the box.
Yeah.
All right, enough of Agricola. I could just keep going, but... Yeah.
I think enough of Caverna as well.
Yeah, so... Let's go to Lucas, number 3.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of crossover going on right now.
And Drako is going somewhere else. My number 3 has been up recently also. It's Dominion. So I'm not going to talk so much about this either. I'm very similar to Andreas. We played it crazy much, maybe too much. And with a lot of expansions and...
but we haven't played it so much.
We haven't played it so much. I played it with other people and this has the same thing. Like next time I play it, I want to try this strategy. And you can choose on which level you wanna play it. I have played it with my parents, and we just take very easy cards. Because you choose 10 buildings you want to use, you can choose very easy way to introduce new players. And then you can choose to play very aggressively, as you said, or more light. So it's I really like it. Some cards, like I don't know which one looks like pirates or
some cards
are when they are in the game, everybody has to play with them, otherwise you don't.
Or you think you have to.
You think that maybe we are too bad at it.
But when you played it a few times, you have to get like an expansion or two. The game is so much better, especially with the expansion called Prosperity. That is a super good expansion. Like, buy it, play 5 or 10 games, and then buy an expansion.
I want to play some expansions with you.
I don't have all, but I have some, and Prosperity.
We played one expansion, the half one, Alchemy or something, I don't know which introduced.
Alchemists.
I didn't like that one.
No,
but the rest of them and Prosperity, it's great.
Isn't there one called Intrigue?
Yeah, Intrigue is also good.
Intrigue is also considered a base game because it has
all you can build,
gold cards and everything.
All right, so should we go to number 2, perhaps?
Good idea. So, time for my number 2. Pandemic Legacy, Season 1. I'm a huge fan of Pandemic, the base game. But the Legacy version was something like, I don't know, blew my mind. C-Main Games, Matt Leacock and Rob Daviau, can't even pronounce that, released last year, 2015. If you've played Pandemic, you know, like the game resolves around, there are four pandemics. You say that, pandemics? Pandemics are spreading throughout the world, and you have to cure them. Sorry, I'm not going to do that. I'm so excited. They took that concept and put it into a campaign, a story. So you play throughout a year, 12 to 24 missions. You start off in January, and the game starts just like a normal Pandemic game. But in the first month, rules will change, things will appear, roles will be added. so much things, so many things are going on in this game, and I can't talk about them because it will spoil the game, spoil everything. But it's
you have these little boxes that you're opening. After a while, there's a card thing. Now you can open box number 2, and then
there are so many boxes and so many things and rule additions. Like take this and put this into rule book at page number 4. All right. So this rule has been rewritten into this now. All right. I have to take that into consideration.
And you rip up cards. That's
So the legacy version is like you play it once.
Yeah.
So you destroy your copy while playing, which is very. I don't like that. A season 2 is coming. Mid 2017 is the rumor I've heard. I hope it's true. My gaming group, I played with my wife and my sister, one of my sisters and her boyfriend. We played 18 missions. So we were somewhere in between, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's the average.
Yeah, we're pretty average. Typical Swedes average. Like, yeah.
Well, it's. I mean, I haven't played it, but
you've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it played. I cheated because I couldn't. My game group at that time was no way I could get this played that much.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's amazing. I like the concept. I can't wait for all of these new. They have Seafall coming out during 2016, but it got some pretty bad reviews, so I haven't tried it yet. But this legacy system where the game develops as you play it, I really love that idea. It's sort of like a computer game.
I would like to play this game again in a few years.
Yeah.
When I don't remember everything.
Maybe you should. I mean, if you play season 2, I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be a season 3 and so on.
Yeah, we played it roughly half a year ago. So I still remember the story, sort of, but maybe not in the exact order everything happened.
You need a tight group to play.
Yes,
because you want to play the campaign with the same people and
so the game takes roughly an hour. Every session takes an hour, sort of. Depends on how fast your gaming group plays. Roughly an hour, and then you play at least 12. And up to at most 24 scenario.
And then you go to meet, you go to drink coffee and all that. So I mean, there's a lot of sittings to do a complete.
So you can play it in 24 hours.
I saw some.
That would be kind of fun.
I saw a run through. They bought a game. There were 3, and they played it, and they did these time lapse. Yeah. But they looked very, very tired after a whole day of Pandemic Legacy.
Maybe in a weekend you can do that.
So. Like, I'm just waiting for season 2 to come out, so I'm starting to acquire expansions for the normal Pandemic game now.
Yeah.
Just to get just to warm up now. It's so I'm gonna play On the Brink, the first expansion very soon. Hopefully it will be good.
I only played the normal pandemic, and I liked it. I only played it with 2 people also. I would like to. And I think I would love it with more people. I think
it's better. Games. It's absolutely best at 4.
Yeah,
it's a cooperative game. So if you have someone who makes all the decisions, you will not enjoy it. So even though I played it the most, doesn't matter. I can give my suggestion, but it's still the active player's choice. That is very important.
Yeah, that's the problem with. I don't think I have any cooperative games on my list, because I think that's the problem with cooperative games. You get the alpha gamer just taking over. Maybe it's, and also you have the other side of it. You have, I'm not going to mention any names, but there's some people that tend to be not as focused in the game. So let's say you're 4 people playing, you have one guy slacking.
Yeah.
Then everybody has to sort of come on. It's I don't like that. I mean, if you play a competitive game like most of the games we play, then it's it's his fault. If he loses, then.
But it's like, find a good gaming group and play this game.
Yeah.
Period. 4 players. You can play it at 2 and 3 as well, but I think you should play it 4.
It's the same with Time Stories. All right. So what's your number 2?
My number 2 is. Oops, here we go with everything. Mage Knight, which is very heavy with rules. There are crazy much rules, but there are a very easy way to learn new players. They are showing how you should get into new players.
It's a deck builder, right?
It's everything, I think. It's came out 2011 and it's designed by Vlada Shavatil and published by WizKids. And it's kind of everything. It's a little bit of deck building, it's a little bit of dice rolling, it's exploring, but a lot of the concept is that you have cards and you use these cards to move, to explore, to fight, to defend yourself, to
it's card driven.
hire people in towns to help you on your adventures, and it's very also open. You can play it coop with 1 to 4 players. You can play a little bit. You can like play it coop, but in the end, the one with the most fame is winning. So you can choose this a lot before the game starts. And there's also so very many people have find out their own missions and like publish them. Try this, and you can so if you get tired of the missions you get in in the box, you just go out on Board Game Geek or whatever and find 200 more. And so it's very, very heavy. And I have been looking for this kind of game for a time, and I think I kind of nailed it when I found this one. This one was the exact thing I wanted to do. The game plays in during rounds, which is during the day and during the night. And you have different powers, like spells, very powerful spells you can only cast during the night, and there's also during the night it's more easy to walk through the desert at night because it's not so hot in the desert, while moving through the forest it's takes much more action points than moving during the day. So all of these monsters, so it changes all the time. And the cards, you have 2 different types you can use. You have like the normal, you have like say you have a move card. On the top you can just play that card and you have 2 movement points, but on the bottom you have like move with 4 points instead. But then you have to feed that with mana. And mana you can get on different places also. You can save it, you can take it from a...
I can already imagine how complicated
it is. Very complicated, but it's also... You can start out very, very simple. And there's like a start mission where you...
You can learn as you go.
Why do you have this game?
Why do I have this game?
Sounds like the...
the thing is
worst
that
game ever.
The thing is that... I think I'm more like Euro games, but I'm having this magnetic thing to Ameritrash.
All right.
So I like these dungeon crawling games
with farms.
With farms.
Is there cows in it?
But with miniatures and stuff.
All right.
But when I play them, I'm like was it this? I didn't found the correct Ameritrash game.
Okay.
This can be, I think, in the right company. It's a little bit Stranger Things theme. The kids down in the basement. If you are in a group and you are very into the game,
kids in the basement.
Haven't you seen Stranger Things?
Yeah, but you mean that it reminds you?
No, but that feeling,
right.
the little kids, the Dungeons and Dragons. When you see people play this and you see how fun they have,
I see what they
that,
so in that show they have.
They have this. Yeah. It seems so fun, and then you play it yourself, and you have played with just like boring people and just very bad. But if you get into it, and I think this is great.
Yeah, I haven't played it.
No.
I would love to play this with you also, but I think it takes some time before we can.
You're gonna have
because
to take
it's a crazy hard game. It's very, very hard.
We're going to play Civilization and Mage Knight.
Yeah, maybe
at the same time.
At the same time, yeah. All right, so my number 2, I think it's showing up here, and well, it's a crossover, and and it's just such a good game.
You're very good at not telling which game it is. You just drag it in and think.
Oh yeah, Terra Mystica, the game of building in a very low luck based game. This game is all about skill. Actually, you have to plan ahead. You have to do the right thing at the right time, and you have to sort of. I mean, the theme is just pasted on. Really, it could have been anything. But the mechanics of the game are so good. You're going to build this engine up where you start off with just getting workers, and then you can use those workers together with coins to build trading houses, which would give you more coins, and they will also give you power. And power is a fundamental part of the game where you have this rondelle of you're moving your power around, and when it's at the right spot, then you can use it to do actions and do different things. So this
crystal clear.
Yeah,
but,
I think you mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
and also this game of right now lately I've been playing the expansion a bit. So then you have even more 6 more races, but in this one you have 14 races, factions. You have so I mean the game is so different. It's so asymmetrical because if you're playing the mermaids, you're playing in one way, sort of. If you're playing the nomads in the desert, then you're going to sort of play it in another way. Of course, you have the same kind of components and the same goals, but the way to reach those goals are different. And that's what I really love about this game. You could play this for, I don't know, for years without getting tired of it, I guess. And I mean, some people are really good at this game and they sort of plan out the perfect strategy. I heard someone call it chess with 2 to 5 players, which is kind of a good way to describe it in a sense. But I don't tend to do that. I don't read these manuals and strategic. I just play for fun and then take it as I go. But this is a game that I actually win a bit in. I even beaten Andy in it once. So, all right.
The good thing with the factions are also, I think, because it makes you need to play different way to win. So you don't you don't fight. You don't compete on the same.
Yeah, and I mean there's this very low player interaction, multiplayer solitaire almost.
Yeah.
I mean you have of course.
You're affected by what?
Yeah, you are.
How you build.
And of course, I mean it's like Agricola or whatever. If I stand there, then you can't stand there. So yeah. But we're not attacking each other. We're not playing any cards like in Terraforming Mars where we affect each other. But I like that as well in this game. I mean, in this game I can sort of zone out. I don't need to care so much about what you're doing because I'm planning my building. My engine is going to start working, and I get this feeling, in the later. This game is just played over 6 rounds, and the first time I saw this, I was thinking, it sounds like a short game, and you can't do that much, but you can do a lot in those 6 rounds, and you can do more and more as you go. So that was Terra Mystica, and my number 2, and now it's time for the great finale, number 1.
Yeah. Finally, we are at the moment where everybody is very tense and
what everyone has been waiting for.
Yeah, what
number 1?
What is number 1? Yeah, my number 1 is Solkin, the Mayan calendar. And this came out 2012. It's Rio Grande Games. And the designers are Daniele Taschini and Simone Gianni. This was one of my first game I bought, actually, I think. And first time I played it was at GotCon a very long time ago, like in the middle of the night. The last game, it were very
Swedish convention.
Yeah, it's a Swedish convention, and we were. Yeah, it was a crazy moment where I was blown away. So I bought this game. It's a worker placement game, but the worker placement thing is a little bit different than others. You place your workers on gears, and every turn you turn these gears. So the longer time you stand on a place, the more benefit you get when you take home the worker. And on every turn you have to either place a worker or more worker or take home.
Very simple.
So it's very simple, but you get kind of stuck sometimes, because many times you don't want to do neither of these things. You want to stay on the gears, but you have to take home or put out someone. So you have to like calculate that, okay, I put one worker on this gear, and then in 3 turns I can do this thing, which is build a building, and then I need gold, then I have to be on this gear, but then I have to place there next turn, and here I have to feed my workers, and then I have to be here on the corn wheel, but now Andreas is standing there, so then I have to pay a lot, because you always put your workers at the lowest place on the gear.
First place.
At the first place. But if someone else is standing there, you have to go up, and then you have to pay. The higher up you place your worker, the more you have to pay. And you can play this in many different ways. You represent Maya tribe, and if you don't play with the expansion, you all have the same. You start with different.
Well, that's one thing I really like about this game, is that you have different. You can choose. You get these tiles, and you get to choose 2 or 4. So you can, if you want to start with a lot of corn, or if you want to start with, maybe you have a strategy where you're going to go for. There's one of the gears here. The citizen Itcha, where you're going to place the skulls down to get points. So if you're lucky, you could start with a skull, but then you will get less corn at the beginning. So
you can
so much different strategies there.
This is very much the thing I talked on before, that you can get into this one type of thing and try to win by that, and choose one thing. And all the time I want to try a new strategy. So and most of the times I don't succeed to do that, because I fall into other things. I want to do this skull strategy, and then I'm like, oh no, but maybe I can do this.
Last time you ended up in the same place.
And Josef said that, of course you can get half points in the game. So then I win, and I was like, hell no, that's that. So
tell me in the comment section, could you get half a point in this game? I just want to know.
Do that so he can see that it's not possible.
Tell him no.
I love this game. It's I'm never going to sell it. I'm always up to play it, and
it's barely made my top 10.
Same here.
I don't have it. I don't own it. You own it. Another friend owns it. I like whenever someone propose to play a game of Tolkien, I'm like, all right, let's do it. Last time it was a bit late for me. I was a bit my head wasn't working. But still had a good
I don't use to win at it. That's a very strange thing. I love the game, but I don't.
You don't play to win.
No, that's a good thing. I play more 12.
Well, very good game.
All right, so my number 1 game of all time, and it's a heavy box, and you guessed it right. It's Imperial Assault, Star Wars. And well, this game is just so amazing. It's basically Descent 3.0, because it's Descent, but in the Star Wars universe. There's some rule changes to it as well. The greatest thing about this game, I mean, usually I'm a Eurogamer. I like Eurogames. I like this farming and the cows and all that. But then once in a while, I just feel like I want to shoot something with a blaster rifle. And so I bought this game, and it turned out to be my favorite game of all times. Because it's just so fun. You really get into the Star Wars universe. I mean, it's sort of the old movies, the 4, 5, and 6. That's where they take place, and then it's going to go on, of course, because they're releasing so many expansions for this. This is just eating away at my student loan. So this game is so good, and because you're in the Star Wars universe, you're sort of this rebel hero, so you are acting on the side of the movies. But you're going to meet Chewbacca, and you're going to meet Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader and all of these guys as well. And as you already know, Drako is a big Star Wars fan as well, so he really loves this game. And well, what should I say? Modular board. One of the really good things about this game.
Scenario based.
You have this campaign where you play 11 missions in a row. So that's like 22 to 30 hours or something.
I played the first mission.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I'm not into these type of games normally. I'm not a dungeon crawler guy. I'm not into figures at all normally. But this game was a bit different. I guess the theme works for me.
Can you appreciate the game if you're not into the Star Wars universe?
I would say you can, but I have a friend that I play this bunch with, and he doesn't know anything about Star Wars, which is kind of weird. But anyway, he's a good guy anyway. He played this and enjoyed it for a while, and then he sort of got tired of it, like halfway through the campaign, because he couldn't really get that feeling that I get, and I'm like, I'm really, I'm the evil empire, and I'm going to defeat the rebel scum over there, that little guy. And so, for me, it's a lot of theme in it. And also, there's 2 games in the box, so you can play it as a skirmish. You can just set it up and play 2-hour, 1.5 hour match. And, we have different objectives, and we get to choose sort of, it's sort of like a, you have points, so you have 60 points, and then you get to pick what troops you're going to have out of those points, and then we're going to fight each other and see who wins. But the main game for me is the campaign, of course. Then you also have all these expansions. There's also figure packs, so you purchase Obi-Wan Kenobi and this little figure, and then you get a mission coming with him and maybe some tokens and so on. And also, this is the game that got me into painting, because I started painting these guys and it looked awful at first. But I'm getting there, I think, and now I actually went and bought another core box just so I can start painting from the scratch again, because I wasn't happy about the first one. Yeah. So I'm a bit crazy about this game.
Is it dice rolling also?
Yeah, dice rolling.
Because
dice rolling.
I don't know if I have played some Star Wars thing. I don't know if it was this one, but
you have dungeon crawlers yourself. You would probably...
Yeah, I think I would like this one, but the thing is that if the dice rolled very much, it depends on like when you fight and stuff the dice, and if you are very unlucky with the dice, it can be.
Welcome to
can it be like very boring and because you are
But the thing is, this game is so epic and so huge. So I mean, you're going to roll those dice a lot of times during one match. So I mean, in the long run, statistically, you should even out. Okay, and of course, you could have a game.
I think I was a Jedi.
Diala Pasil.
Yeah.
This is one of the few games that I know all the characters.
I was very good at rolling my dice.
Yeah.
I would love to. I like Star Wars. I like dungeon crawling. I like even if I used to be very unlucky with dice. I like to sit there.
I have a beginner tip. Don't get caught outside the door. The first
That's one of the things I really love about this game, because one of the players is going to be the Imperial player, and he or she has all the information in this booklet, where you can you know what's going to happen during the scenario. But the Rebel players, you could be from 1 to 4 Rebel players. They don't have any information really. So, like you said, if you open a door, something might happen. The alarm might go off, and there comes a lot of stormtrooper comes rushing in. That's so much fun. I mean, it's fun from both sides. I played as a rebel as well and didn't know anything about what was going to happen. And I think, I'm winning. I'm getting to this computer.
How is the replayability then?
Well, I would say it's really good because of the massive amount of missions. There's so many missions.
Yeah, but if you are playing as, right, I guess you can replay it as being in the Imperial. Being the
you could do that.
Being the evil or the good guys, depending on which side you're on. But playing the good guys.
Well, it depends on how good memory you have. I mean, after you play like
perfect memory,
20 missions, you're going to be a bit confused about when stuff happens. But anyway, it's really good, and also the expansions. There's already 2 small and 1 big box that I have as well. with new campaigns, new missions, new stuff happens, new mechanics. And then they're going to release Jabba's Palace here in January, so that's something I'm looking forward to.
Do you have to have a gaming group? Do you have to play with the same people all the time? Because that is one of the problems with these types of games normally. If you have a character that levels up. Yeah,
because it levels up, it develops. It's most like a computer game. But yeah, that's sort of a problem. On the other hand, you could play the skirmish just with anyone, and I really like the skirmish as well. I haven't played it that much. But it's really fun, and there's a lot of maps for the skirmish as well. A lot of different objectives. People put their own stuff out on the community and so on. And they have tournaments in this. I think they even have like the Swedish cup and this.
And the thing that you said that because this is 2 to 5 players. Let's say that there are 5 players, then there are 1 player playing the Empire, and the other 4. Are they other 4? Are they going to?
They are playing a co-op game.
Yeah.
So I prefer this actually with 2 players because it's a lot faster. If you have 4 guys sitting and going, oh, should we go there? Should we open the door? Should we do this? Should we do that?
I think it
takes forever.
4 players in total.
As the Empire player, it's kind of boring to sit there and be like, come on, do something.
Yeah.
So especially. So I like this. I'm actually on a campaign now with a few friends, and so they are 2 rebels and I'm the Empire, and that's going really well. That's
for which side?
They are the rebels.
For which side? You said it's.
Oh yeah, it's going good. It's going well for them in regard. They won the first 3 missions. I didn't really stand a chance, but that's because one of my friends. You know who you are, you bastard. You're always winning games and you always outsmart me. So yeah. All right. So enough of that. Let's go to the last game for the evening.
Yeah, and the last game is a game we have seen twice.
A crossover again. This is a total crossover. Everyone has it on
this. This is the best game ever. Period.
So which game is it?
Terra Mystica. Yeah. So we're gonna open the box now.
They're not blind.
Because
well, maybe they are.
I don't know what we should talk about otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. You have to show
I'm going to show a bit of it. So in the base game, you have 1 board. In the expansion, you get a couple of boards.
You have 2-sided boards. So.
Yeah. So it looks something like this. The map, the board consists of all of these different terrain types. And if I am the nomads, the yellow ones, I'm gonna start off on these desert tiles somewhere here. And if I want to expand here, if I want to expand here, I have to transform this or terraform it into desert. And once I do that and I place a hut or a dwelling there, it's mine, and no one else can take it. So after a while, like an hour into the game, you will see a lot of houses here. Different types of houses. There are dwellings, and you upgrade them to trade houses, and then you upgrade them to strongholds or to religious buildings like temples and cathedrals.
There's one thing we haven't mentioned about this game at all.
Yeah, I was going there.
Yeah, that's one of the great, one of my favorite parts of it.
Yeah, like it is a fantasy game, so you have like this, what do you call this?
Cult track. Different elements. We have the fire, water, earth, and wind.
Yeah, and you're trying to climb up these different ladders. Like ladders, and only 1 player can be at the top here, and you get scored at the end of the game for which place you are. Like if you are highest, you get a lot of points. I think were you top at all?
I think so. But then I was playing the expansion.
Yeah, you played the expansion faction. Which,
they are good at the cult tracks.
Very good at this one. But so in order to climb the ladders, you have to you have to get priests, and normally you have to get priests and sacrifice them.
Yeah.
Here. So if, the first one sacrifice will allow you to climb 3 steps, and then 2, and so on. And whenever you pass over one of these purple things, you get power, and power you can do stuff with, and you also get power from building or from being next to other to other factions. So if I have some buildings and you are building just beside me, or upgrading your buildings to better buildings, I get power. And sometimes I have to spend points to get the power. The powers can be used to acquire new different things, to do like free actions and stuff. So there is a lot of stuff going on in this game. I don't know. We talked about it quite a bit.
It's fun that we had one real crossover.
Yeah.
You guys liked Caverna. Did you have Terraforming Mars? No.
No.
So we had it. Yeah, crossover there.
3 times. So this is the best game. Right?
It's really hard in the top 2. I mean, the top 3.
Right, it was on all 3 list.
Yeah. Alright, so that was the top 10 games of all times from 2016 at least. And
for 2016, not from.
no, for 2016. It's 2016 now.
Our top games.
Yeah, so right
As of today.
As of today, it's probably going to change, at least
Might
for me, I think. Maybe not the top 3, top 5, but I think...
Yeah, when you have played Istanbul, it will reach your top 10.
Well, when you guys have played Civilization, then your lists are going to change as well, I think.
Perhaps. Maybe not.
Alright, so...
We'll see next year.
In this video, we came to the conclusion that Agricola beats Caverna, and so we also had a lot of fun, and I hope you had as well watching us. If you watched all this way, you're crazy, but I hope you enjoyed it.
Why would anyone do that?
So, I mean, even if you spent all the time watching this, then you can spend another few seconds, just go down there and subscribe to the channel, click the red button down there, like the video, and...
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Tell us in the comments what are your favorite games of all times. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.